I'm Sharon, and this is Forage and Thrive, where we catch it, forage it, and turn it into meals you'll never forget. On today's episode, we're going to be steelhead fishing, cooking some of it over the campfire, and doing a little foraging for lobster mushrooms, which we also turn into a really yummy campfire dinner. So, let's get started. So we're here on the boat with guide Grant Scheele of Grant's Northwest Guide Service. Steelhead fishing here in the winter can be really hit or miss because the fishing is really competitive. There are a ton of guides on the water, and so I felt very fortunate to hook this fish, and also for the fact that it did end up being a keeper. Now, you see me holding up this fish. Yes, I'm so very proud of it. I always do a gratitude ritual whenever I catch a fish because I believe that is super important to give back, to use every single part of every fish that we catch. And if you guys have grabbed the Eat Off the Land cookbook, there's actually a recipe in there for a way to make fish fertilizer out of your fish carcasses. So always important to close the loop when you're fishing, when you're harvesting anything from the land. So being done on the boat, I decided to hit some other spots on the water. And one note here, if you're getting into fishing and you're pretty new to it, you don't know what fishing rod to get, you might see my rod here, which is a Solilo Okuma. They're a super cheap rod from Bi-Mart. This rod has lasted me about 4 years, and it was only about $60, so definitely recommend. Cheap rod, more expensive reel is what people often say when you're getting into it. Good advice. As far as a good reel to get into it when you're first starting, I really like the Kaimar HD from Okuma. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but maybe I should be. Hint, hint. It runs about $100, and I can usually get one to last me a couple seasons, and I'm pretty hard on my gear, especially fishing with kids. So we froze a lot of our fish last winter, and in this part we're going to be making a wild rice and lobster mushroom dish. That's wild rice, by the way. The black spots in that, it's not mouse poop or something gross. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And cutting this up, cutting an onion up, some garlic here. So as you guys can see here, this is spores, this is not mold. This happens a lot with these because they start to spore out when towards the end of their life. So we are going to cut this off. It's actually somewhat more wormy than I expected for something so bright, but I'm going to go ahead and make use of what I can. Side note here, worms are really common in wild mushrooms. They won't hurt you, just pick them out. Soak them in salt water if you have to. I do that a lot with morels, and usually if there are any left, they'll come out in the cook. Remove any worms that I see and any bug holes. Cleaned off my cutting board. Go ahead and slice up these chanterelles now too. I've been finding them at the coast since earlier in the season, but finding them inland.
These things.
If you cut off both ends of the onion, it makes it really easy because then all you have to do is peel 1 or 2 times right around here, and just like that, your onion is peeled. Now I kind of wish that I had a non-wood cutting board, so I don't want to get the whole thing flavored like onions. We're gonna go ahead and add our onions.
Can I get a gold colored marker or
Give the plate in there to cook.
or pencil because
And at the same time, we can go ahead and add our lobster mushrooms and chanterelle mushrooms.
I'm gonna throw them in.
And we're just gonna let that all cook for a little bit. So you just mix in about half of the mushrooms, onions, and garlic mixture into your wild rice, and add in some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and then of course stir everything around. Add a little bit of milk if you have it, and set it close to the fire to keep it warm while I finish cooking the other part of the meal. Cheese bread here. We're gonna actually add some of these mushrooms into the cheese bread and see how that goes. I'm going to add some milk into this bag here. We have our mushrooms, we have cheddar cheese, and the onion mixture. Pour in some milk, and then we're just going to close it up.
That hurts.
Piece of bread, by the way. By the way, the recipes in this video can be found in the Eat Off the Land cookbook, which does have a section both for the lobster mushrooms and the steelhead, and there are many more recipes that you can find by checking out the book, which is available wherever you can find books. But right now we're going to make some steelhead cakes and fry these over the fire to go with our wild mushroom bread and rice dish. These are super easy. The probably most important thing about making this dish is to make sure that your hands are sanitized before you start, because when you're camping it can be hard to keep the meat clean or keep food clean that you're cooking with. But I just use hand sanitizer, and if I can, running water and hand sanitizer is better than nothing. But of course it's always best if you can use some dish soap and hot water. But I think, so for dessert, I made this really yummy berry cobbler, but that recipe is going to be in a different video. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos